So, because last night was Impact Wrestling Sacrifice pay-per-view event, I didn't get to talk about how it has exactly been 1 year since the WWE or wrestling in general started doing shows with no crowds at all. And I just wanted to really take this video to reflect on how this entire year, where there have been no crowds, it shows how when it comes to wrestling, or better yet, when it comes to sports in general, you need a crowd. Like I like when the WWE started doing these shows from the Performance Center, I BS you not. This crap was garbage, okay? Like I remember watching that first Monday Night Raw and just being like, what in God's name am I watching? You know what I mean? Like it was to the point where I was like, I can't do a WrestleMania, or I can't watch WrestleMania, or the WWE can't do a WrestleMania. And that even came with other companies. I couldn't really watch AEW. I couldn't really, watch these other wrestling companies because there was no crowd. I mean, it was so bad that New Japan literally canceled all their shows, all their matches. Like, they didn't even do empty arenas like WWE and AEW did. They just went on hiatus. But, like I said, man, it just goes to show you how crowds really matter. But I will give, WWE and these sports in general, I will give them credit that despite being no fans, they have tried their damnness to give us great content. I mean, we've seen it with the WWE main, example with, we've seen stuff like the Boneyard match, the Money in the Bank, with AEW, the Stadium Stampede, um, just other things, just stepping out the box. Like, we wouldn't have seen that stuff. Like Bray Wyatt getting set on fire at TLC. Some of that stuff wouldn't have happened if there was no crowd. But because there was no crowd, the WWE, AEW, and all these other companies, they're able to step out the box a little bit more. But again, despite all that, despite there being a Thunderdome, despite there being, you know, having some sort of fans, it still doesn't give you that vibe. In my personal opinion, I think NXT has been exposed this past year with the pandemic hitting, because it's shown how much NXT really needs a crowd, not just for their takeover shows, but their main shows as well, because the NXT crowd is always hyper, it's always active. And when there is no crowd, it's bland. Like I remember NXT when they didn't do, you know, crowds when they first started doing it. I just remember seeing it was like, holy crap, man, NXT has become so still. And everybody thinks that. Well, not everybody, but now a lot of people are saying, oh, NXT is boring. I don't want anything to do with NXT. NXT has become stale. And I guess you can also add the fact that they moved to Wednesday nights, but hopefully starting in April, they go back to, well, they don't go back, but they move to Tuesday nights. And with AEW, probably had one of the best crowds. And coming off what was an amazing Revolution pay-per-view, it felt like that AEW was going to do great. Especially Jon Moxley, because Moxley had a lengthy title reign and he was set to have a banger with the crowd by his side, but the pandemic, it just ruined everything. There were so many returns, like Christian made his return at the Royal Rumble, and that got ruined. McIntyre won the WWE Championship, that got ruined. Lashley winning the title, that got ruined. Like, we've had so many moments, and it got ruined. The Undertaker literally retired, and he couldn't have his retirement in front of fans because of this pandemic. It sucks, man. It really does. So, like I said, man, this is just a short video, just applauding, wrestling and world sports in general for like continuing to do these shows even though like they don't really have to. And I also forgot to mention again, like the NBA, we've seen it. The NBA bubble was a success. You know, nobody got COVID-19 or anything like that. So it was a success. It worked because they planned it very well. So shout out to Adam Silver and the NBA for doing that. And then the UFC, we got to give credit to Dana White. Again, despite there being a pandemic, UFC still did their shows. So you have to applaud Dana White and the UFC. You have to applaud these sports for, despite that there is no crowd, they're going out there and they're putting on these shows and stuff like that. So that's just a short video, guys. Again, mainly particularly with WWE, it being 1 year since having no crowds. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Before I end this video, I also have to say something. So I'm not technically going back to school, but like because our school is reopening, it has to require us to like be online now, or classes starting at 7:40 when they used to start at 8:30. And because of that, my bedtime is going to change a little bit. I have to go to bed a little bit early. And the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because if you guys been noting the channel, I've been doing Raw reviews for the past months. And that's basically going to affect me, doing these Raw reviews. So I want you guys to put in the comment section if you want to, and I might not do it. It mainly matters if you guys want it. I could do a Raw review that Tuesday because on Wednesdays, we don't have class. We just do our assignments, but we don't have classes. But so I could do a Raw review those Tuesdays afternoons if you want me to, but if you don't, then it is what it is. And either way, I probably won't do them anyways because that will be my opportunity of not really watching the show. But I still love dropping content for you guys and stuff like that. Speaking of content, guys, we're almost there. We're almost there to the big 3-digit number 100, guys. We hit 94. We're getting there, peeps. We're getting there, guys. 6 more subscribers away. Just six. We're almost there, guys. We can do this. We got this. And I don't know what I'm going to do for 100 subscribers. I'll probably do like a Q&A because I never done a Q&A. But we got to get to 100 subscribers first. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching the video. And this has been the Kid DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.